Welcome to Checking In with Dr. B, a space dedicated to live conversations with those who have found and lived their joy. Checking in today is Astar Bishop. Astar is a camera shy practicing artist, musician, composer, and educator who is passionate about cinematic music and songwriting. His art is a blend of expressionism and cubism. Laid back and hardworking in his music, Astor is always listening, trying to improve, staying current, yet knowing that art never ages. The painting that you see now is called Two Brothers, the story of two brothers escaping from slavery. And you see a cityscape in the background and the moon as they move through the night. Astor received his Bachelor of Music and Jazz Studies from Florida Memorial University under the late maestro Melton Mustafa. He teaches art and music at Queen's Royal College, QRC, one of Trinidad and Tobago's oldest secondary schools. Check Astor's website, www.starshopstudios.com, and on YouTube, www.youtube.com at Astar Bishop 7650. Welcome, Astor.
Thank you, Dr. Watson.
How is everything going with you?
It's going good. It's going good.
Good, good, good. Now, Astor, I spoke a little bit about the painting that we're seeing here. Could you tell us a little bit more about it in your own words?
Hmm. It was, I mean, like I said, I mean, I don't mean it like that, but I saw it, I started drawing to mass at home, to African mass, and I just flowed with the ideas, and it was done in 2010, a
Ah,
little while now. And
yes.
I don't plan what I'm going to do. It's like, it's similar to improvising with a paintbrush. That's how I call it.
Oh, that's
Um,
interesting.
thanks. Um, hmm. Yeah, at one time when I was preparing for my exhibition, I wanted to do a painting per day, because I was really driven to create art and actually leave teaching as a result of that. And because that's one of the things that I was really passionate about. And I'm intrigued by African history. So this painting, I guess, was one of the paintings which signifies that. Um, but what happened when I started to focus more on music is that I began to think in a cinematic way because of the arts, because of my art background or visual art background.
When you say that you started to think in a cinematic way about music, what exactly do you mean by that?
I had visions, concepts, like rationales for movie scripts. I was thinking of, firstly, like a movie, like a, what's the best way to say it? Like music videos. I was thinking of a music video as I did the music. And eventually thinking of music which fits the theme, which works as a theme for movies. Um, I did songs which have a superhero theme, and this the concept can be developed into a full movie. So I have that in mind. and it never stops. Not all songs have a cinematic base, but I look forward to working on a soundtrack for a movie one day.
Hmm. So I noticed you spoke about when you use the brush and you improvise. I notice in this particular painting that there are lines that and the color, the way the lines and the color merge together. Can you speak about how your music and your art intersperse, how they balance each other?
Well, I see music and art working hand in hand. Is like the two legs which I work on. That's how I saw it.
I like that. The two legs that you walk on.
Merci beaucoup.
There, yeah. But Asa, tell us a bit about your journey, your musical and your artistic journey.
I'm trying to decide which one came first. I'm not too sure. At the age of 5, I started drawing. I remember trying to draw a house and paying attention to the details of the window pane and trying to draw faces. And I also remember when I was in primary school, I had the challenge of drawing Santa Claus from a distance without tracing or anything. And another student did it well. And since then, I put my best foot forward. I already put a lot of work into achieving a high quality of work. So it was practice the hours of practice that I put in paid off. And at a certain point in time, I wanted to become a cartoonist. And after I studied music, I went to um, International Fine Art College, and I wanted to do character design. But the aesthetics of the college turned me off. I guess I shouldn't have looked at that, let that bother me that much. But it didn't feel like I compared it immediately to University of West Indies in Trinidad, and it was just an industrial space. The university was just an industrial space, and it didn't seem to inspire much creativity, at least in the city. But that led me to a lot of other things. I got the opportunity to design for a carnival band, but that didn't materialize because of trustworthiness, lack of trustworthiness within that group. But I still have the original drawings. It was for I guess I shouldn't say which book it is. um, then it led me to design. I have not design, but yeah, to pursue painting like from a full time. Because I remember every time walking to school from Belmont, I would look in the savannah in the morning and feel inspired and wish I was painting the whole day. So I decided to start painting seriously so I could get work sold. Two paintings were sold for that show. It was held in Nallis, the National Library. Okay, the library in Port of Spain, the National Library in Port of Spain.
In
Um,
Trinidad.
correct. And one a colleague bought a painting called "If Boats Could Speak," because I remember that what inspired that is I was driving to Chagaramas, where small boats are, where after peaks, long after peaks, Chaguaramas, where the cove is, or was, where the yachts are located.
So
And
as
I
you're
heard a
driving
sound,
along the coastline there.
yeah. So I heard a song coming from the boats, and I started to draw. I was prepared to draw anyway, and I just call it if boats could speak, and I captured it in a I guess in my own style, because I don't have any strict approaches when it comes to painting or drawing. And the other painting which was sold was my interpretation of a European painting. It's a woman and a lily. Botticelli, I think, yes, a painting by Botticelli, which I copied and I made a, well, I would say Trinidad, and I gave a little more hips and so on. And that was featured in a magazine called Mako magazine.
Marco, okay.
And it was sold to someone in Barbados, I think, because yes, someone saw the work in Mako magazine, and a middle the liaison worked in Movie Town, Texas de Brazil, and he contacted me, and he purchased a painting for someone in Barbados. I think it's Barbados. And so far, 2 paintings were sold, and I still have the others at home. So as a result of that experience, I basically stopped painting because a lot of work was piling up at home, and I decided to just focus on music because it's easier to focus. It's easier to store electronic files and analog. It's these physical paintings.
Mm.
And
So,
as far as the music now, um, I remember at an early age getting a kind of clarinet, a small clarinet, and a kind of xylophone, play xylophones, toy xylophones. That's in primary school level. Before primary school, I remember listening to Pan. My father has used to play a lot of LPs of different styles of music, orchestral, Stan Getz, jazz, bossa nova, Barry White, Michael Jackson, Shadow, um, a wide range of music. And I remember falling asleep to this song, Broken Wings, and asking myself, why did I feel that way when that music was playing? And ever since, I've been fascinated by music. So I remember telling my father that I could play pan, and he doubted me. That's before I could even play.
yes.
Learned, but I felt good about the music. And then in primary school, we didn't really do much music. I don't remember. The town boys I went to of course, in Newtown. And then at QRC, I was part of a junior choir, Form 1. And then I learned pan and from a guy named Joe Beetle, who was a former Starlift member in Form 1. And then I also learned clarinet up to Form 3 level. I was part of this scout band at the time. We had at least 100 or maybe 50 members in the scout band at that time. So I learned clarinet. I also played drums. I did grade 5 theory and up to grade 8 practical in drums. Well, pan was included there too. I was also part of the National Youth Orchestra at the time, which I played pan, I played drums, and from there I was exposed to the orchestral sound, but I could make theoretical sense of it, but it sounded good and it felt good. Um, in different steel bands, well, I heard I was part of Starlift up to Form 3. I was part of, I remember Ray Holman's arrangement with Trinidad, and the way the chords would surround me or the band and the sweetness of it and so on. I was so like listening to the different bands and Phase 2 and Invaders. I liked Phase 2's birthday party a lot.
Hmm.
I mean, I could still remember the solos and that experience of going in the band and playing.
But what made you
Hmm.
decide to leave Trinidad and study abroad?
Well, it occurred before I tell you that. I would tell you that I was in Scouts, the Scout band, and there was uh, the Scout leader, Lawrence McDowell, who passed away.
Yes, yes, I
He,
realized.
yes, he advised me. He he advised me to study music. And we went to Chile when I was in sixth form, Chile, and I played pan, and I saw the response that people had towards pan, and it was second to none. Amazing, warm. Got a warm respect reception because of pan. And then he told me I should go to UE and study music after seeing my A-level results. Even though I got A for art.
Hmm, yes.
That was the only A. Yes, thanks. Um, so I was excited to do the certificate course in music that UE offered at that time
Right.
in 1999.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because that's when I graduated in 1999. Um, so the opportunity came after 1 year in UE certificate part-time course. when there was an ad in the paper for Florida Memorial College, and it was the ad for a drummer, and I did apply. I used the Scouts drums and pan. I took them out. I remember walking with the drum set across the savannah from school.
Oh, the whole drum set?
Yes, the drums and these. I don't know how I did it at that. I just did it.
Oh my gosh.
Nobody bothered me. So
Yes. I can just imagine you walking across the wide savannah with a drum set.
yeah, that was.
That's
I guess
determination.
yeah, it happened. I had no car at the time, and I just did it. It was just from Curiosity to Belmont. Set up the drum set at home and played what I could at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and that's how I met you.
Oh, that is amazing, Esther.
Pardon?
I said that's amazing. That see, it takes determination and courage when you want to pursue your art. In this case, your music. You know? So
Correct.
tell me, what themes or subjects, you spoke a little bit about the African heritage in your art. What themes are you drawn to in your music? and other themes in your art as well?
Themes, romance, always romance. When I check Stevie Wonder's music, I realize he doesn't deviate from romance too much at all.
Hmm.
Um, Babyface always speaks about romance. Music is about love. It's hard to escape it. I mean, with all the rebel that Bob Marley was, he spoke about love too.
Right.
So it's and the word muse in itself is about a woman.
Hmm.
So, inspiring music.
Hmm. That muse, that
Yeah,
muse.
music. If you could correct me if I'm wrong.
No, to me, it's where you approach it. It is what it
Yeah,
means to you. They can't have a wrong or right in that. You know, if muse is music to you, then that is what it is to you. So, how do you overcome any creative blocks, or do you ever have any creative blocks when you're
I do.
writing?
Um, at one when I would now started, ideas were flowing to the point where I would wake up with ideas and have to go and sing them onto my phone and then work on them later on in the day. Or I would probably go onto the computer and keyboard and work on these songs. And well, I remember even thanking my mom for pushing me to learn the theory of music because you have, when you get a musical idea, it leaves you as quickly as it comes. And the ability to write it down is saves heartache and is a golden skill. I came to realize, well, appreciate also. But I was in a flow. I remember I was in a flow at one time because I was thinking to create music, well, for the world, and I wasn't trying to sound like anybody else as such. I mean, but you must sound like somebody anyway you take it. But I remember, yes, I was in a group with two elder gentlemen. One played saxophone. That's Fred Absalom. He passed away. Yes, last year. Yeah, last year. And another guy, Andre Wallace. He plays guitar. He's in Beckway at the moment.
Hmm.
That group played jazz standards over standard tracks, over sequences.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I wanted to introduce a live feel to the group, I realized that those standards, after playing them for at least 5 years, with inspired a lot of music.
Ah.
Those chord changes created permutations in my mind, and I also was at that time. I was working on a lot of improvisation with my regular low C tenor,
Hmm.
and was focusing on improvisation basically to the point where I would have an idea in my head one day, and the next day in practice I will execute it without practicing it. And that was a good flow I had at that point because I remember one year we practiced almost every day, and it started to flow like nothing else. And that group would give me feedback on my work, and we had good chemistry, and that would inspire more work and so on. And it just kept going
So
until, yes,
the support of the group sometimes helped you out in terms of those creative blocks. The fact that you
Correct.
had a group with that, oh, okay.
So that was, and then Andrew would always speak about the the influence of Trinidadian musicians on the wider world. Fred Absalon actually knew um, Caribbean Queen guy. That's Billy Ocean. And he knew where he grew up in Faizabad.
Mm.
And he, he would also speak about the Black Roots Rhythm Band, and how that how brother resistance came from that group, and many other people came from that group. I also met the person who actually composed Drunk and Disorderly. It
Uh-huh.
wasn't Sparrow, and he also passed away.
Yes.
But it was a vibrant group and experience.
So surrounding yourself with people who are into the art and supportive and knowledgeable was an
Correct.
important part. Hmm.
Yeah, and we spoke about what that word? Um, spoke about, wow, the word is not coming to mind.
That's okay.
Metaphysics,
Or metaphysics.
yes, yes, yes. It was
Wow.
interesting. It was
Yes.
interesting.
So, Asta,
Yes.
in terms of the art and the music, how important is it to your life? Those your art and your music. Could you see your life without art and music?
No. It inspires me. Even when I look back at the paintings and sketches that I have done over the years, they inspire me to do more work. And up to recently, it was last week, I was looking at my paintings and say, I wonder what kind of music will come out of the paintings. So I think that's the next thing I will approach. I'll attempt to be inspired by the paintings to write. I do say I write music. I say I listen to the ideas that come to me.
Hmm.
I Because I believe that music is felt before it's written.
I remember for your final recital, you created pieces of music and art that were related to each other. And is that something that you say that now you may do some more of?
Yeah, I will. I will. That will inspire more cinematic sounding stuff, new songs, music, because um, from the creative process perspective, when in literature will inspire literature will inspire music. It could inspire poetry. Poetry can inspire literature. Um, Actors' screenplay will inspire music.
Hmm.
And from what I even heard, sometimes the musician, the composer, doesn't even get a chance to see the film before writing any music. So you have to be highly inspired or something.
Yes, yes. So that brings me to joy. Okay.
Yes.
What brings you joy?
Working on the music, the process, the songwriting process at the moment, from getting the initial idea to developing the motives and finding the right chords, feeling the chords and playing them, getting the right bass line, the right rhythm. I used to compose from melodies first, and now I tend to compose from rhythms first, the drums.
Ah.
So, and then I don't know if I'm straight. You can let me know if I'm straight.
No, no, no. This is very interesting. So you're going
Thanks.
from a rhythmic basis in terms of your
Yeah,
compositions.
because I I was well. Kyle has guided me too.
And Kyla's,
Kyle Hill.
yeah, I know, but for others who mightn't know, Kyle Hill, who also was at Florida Memorial. Yes. How has Kyle guided you?
He has guided me into composing more commercial music versus yeah music. Commercial music will be more receptive, sorry, more appreciated by a wider audience than the other types of music which are extremely abstract. That's what I
Hmm.
realized, because Burna Boy mightn't be able to play jazz, but he has a large audience worldwide.
Mhm.
Um, at the same time, Michael Jackson probably could play jazz, but he's still focused on the commercial side of music and trying to appeal to a wider audience.
Hmm.
Um, I see jazz as background music for abstract scenes in movies or action parts in movies. Like if there's confusion taking place, they have probably what 4 or 5 people soloing at once,
Hmm.
and there's a long pause, silence, and then a long note, a long loud note, something like that. Um, the Pink Panther was one which stood out. You know, you see somebody in an alley, it created a sense of mystery and so on. What was the question? I'm trying to remember.
That's okay. We went wherever we went. But
Okay.
what would you say to someone who wants to get into art, wants to get into music, but when they think of the road ahead, they become afraid? What would you say to such a person?
Take your time. The journey is long. Enjoy the process because that's where true success exists. You
Speak
take
a
each
little
day
bit,
at
a little, sorry, but you said the process. That's where the journey begins. Elaborate on
or,
that a little bit more.
or the success is in the process, not the destination. It's not about the final goal, it's about enjoying each working day at your craft. Because when you look back at your portfolio, it will inspire you. You'll see where you started and where you're heading, where you are and where you want to head. Um, because it should money should not be the final goal when you're creating art, because sometimes the feeling of doing a good song is worth more than the money that you get.
Hmm.
And if if and when those two elements combine, it'll be super joy. Because you're getting paid for what you enjoy doing. It's I mean, um, because I remember my exhibition was called Passion,
Hmm.
and your passion is your purpose. The thing that makes you feel good is what you should do, because it's easy to you, but it just means that you'll go the extra mile to attain that level of integrity and success. Um, I'm trying to remember the question again because I went for.
No, you're just giving advice to someone who wants to get in the field, and it's very good advice. And looking at your passion is your purpose, and vice versa. That is,
True.
and just sticking at it, enjoying the process. As you said, I think two very, very good points, two important points.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. So, Asta, you spoke about wanting one day perhaps to write a score. What else would you like to see happening in the next 5 to 10 years, say?
Well,
When
I wanted to speak to you maybe off air or eventually privately about some concepts I have for music festivals.
oh, okay.
Music festivals which eliminate competitive elements and just allow people to explore creatively
Yeah.
and fully exploit the components of music, the elements of music,
Hmm.
from time signature to modes to speeds, because the festivals, the competitions which we have now tend to keep people in a one mold
Hmm.
as far as tempo. They are almost afraid to slow down the piece of music because they want to capture a certain quote unquote spirit, and spirit has no confines,
Spirit
you know.
has no confines. That is true. That is true.
And I don't want to expose the
No,
idea.
that's okay. We can talk offline. Um, is there anything that we have not covered that you would like to say, that you would like to speak about?
Well, as far as advice, the my journey is, I have a good distance to go. I have things I want to accomplish, and I'm just enjoying the process. It's good to at the moment it's good to be unknown, because when you go buy a doubles vendor, nobody asks you for five doubles or something. So it's very simple.
That is true.
You can eat a doubles in peace.
Yes. Yes, you don't have to put on your mask and your hat and go incognito.
Yeah.
Uh, Asta, I'm so glad you checked in. It's been wonderful speaking with you, and thank you for sharing the two brothers' artwork. I've been looking at it all the time, and each time you moved, I saw a different aspect of the piece. It was wonderful because I even saw the reflection of the moon on the forehead, on the forehead there of
Right.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. It
Yeah. I
was so
try to
wonderful.
capture the light on it.
Yes, yes. And the colors. Your work is always, so vivacious, so full of color.
That's the thanks. That's the impressionism
Mm-hmm.
which Ken Reyes, my art teacher in A levels, introduced me to. Um, he's retired as a teacher now, but we still speak. Um,
And as you guide your students in art and music at the high school, is there a particular way that you guide them or
Well, as far as art goes, I simply encourage them
Hmm.
to build their esteem, because I remember having one student who couldn't necessarily draw the best, and just by telling him he could do it, he'll improve, he had a lot of confidence and his work improved, and it was amazing just by that, just by doing that. And it's amazing. You know, I don't grade students hard at all.
Mhm. Because art itself is your expression. Yeah.
Correct. I mean, there are certain rules or rudiments,
Mhm.
but yes, at the end of it all, it's your expression. I fully agree. Fully agree.
Yes, you learn the rules so that you can break the rules.
Correct.
Asta, again, thank you for checking in with Dr. B. It's been great to catch up and see what you are doing. I'm going to check again on your website, starshopstudios.com, to see some of the work that you have been doing over these years. And on your YouTube channel, you also have some of your music there as well, don't you?
Yes, I do. I do.
Good. So I look forward to seeing that. Thank you for being here. And I'll be looking forward to the festivals and the movie and the art and the music.
Many thanks.
Welcome to Checking In with Dr. B. In addition to our video podcast, we invite you to join our Jumpstart network at keepyourjoyandrise.com. There you'll have access to questions and answers with our guests, virtual meetups, and opportunities to suggest and participate in workshops and spur of the moment talk and jam sessions. We are creating a community of positive thinkers and doers. Come join.